So I gotta look for the hand, so it's there. Matt Kendall, I talked to Matt.
What is, oh, that's one thing after another. Yeah. Yeah. They're hanging in. They're at my house right now. I just sent in the finalized part, so. Well, good, she's good. She did a great job. Good. Yeah. Patty did it or? Yeah. Well, he's, yeah. John Marshall made the cutest little poster out there. He had all three Decatur's and my daughter making things in 2001.
Oh,
So they're in the show out there. Really cute.
That's cool.
Are we ready?
I think so. No, I don't think I want an AI companion to see my meeting. I don't.
So I'm gonna call this meeting of the Round Valley Area Municipal Advisory Council to order at 6:02 p.m. And roll call. Dane Downing,
Present.
Mary Lou Millick. I'm here. Laura Vance. Here. I'm here. Randall Van. James Russ. Michelle Downing. So we have a quorum, we'll proceed. Can I get approval of our agenda tonight? And we removed the comment to FERC because the deadline was December 1st, but it's been extended now to December 19th. Wow. So do we want to add that back on? Does anyone want to make a comment? Or people can make their individual comments by 2:00 on the 19th. I'm like, should we leave it on? Should we take it off? Should we? So, okay, so that's the only thing I have to be changed. But if we can get an approval, we'll move on to the November. I'll move to approve the agenda.
No objections.
Okay, approval of November 5th meeting minutes.
Okay.
Did John find out if that was a legal meeting since you appeared by Zoom? It said he was gonna check,
Yeah,
make sure it's acceptable.
we don't know. He's not here tonight, right?
So should we table that until we know if it's legal or not?
That's probably a good idea. Good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. I was wondering.
Yeah. We're gonna check your council on that. That's right, town council.
I'll make that motion.
And which item was it?
It was the minutes. John was going to check with county council to make sure it's acceptable for the fourth council
Okay.
member to join by Zoom.
All right. Okay, I'll table those. We'll move on to public comment. This kind of carried over. The Round Valley Indian Health Center and Round Valley Indian Tribe sponsored a 4-day emergency preparedness training with Falmouth Institute at the Covilla Rec Center, October 14th, 16th, 15th, 16th, 17th. 21 people attended. Have there been any follow-up stakeholders meetings scheduled to coordinate a comprehensive emergency preparedness plan for the community? And I think that your emergency preparedness group meets in January.
January next, we take November and December off.
So.
So yeah.
You said I'm moving. Yeah, so that's, I kind of have that.
Did you get the sense that folks would be, you know, at the health center, would be interested in attending?
Yes, yes, and then they also schedule a meeting with the fire department. All agencies and then probably everyone come together, but to my knowledge, nothing's been firmly scheduled yet, so.
Okay.
Look for an update in January.
It'll be the, second Wednesday of the month.
Okay, reports from county, state, and tribal officials, tribal council. Let's see anybody there. Sheriff Kendall, you're up.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm in my truck. I couldn't quite make it back from where I was, and so I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Thank goodness I have cell service. Um, just a few things for Round Valley, kind of a quick overview. Over about the last 40 days, we've been experiencing a hell of a lot of burglaries and property crimes. We've identified some suspects. Can everybody hear me? I see Lou waving his hands like maybe I don't sound so good.
Yeah, it's just coming over on my computer.
Hang on
It's
a
not on that, but we can all hear it. You
Can
know,
you?
yeah.
All right, so we've got some suspects identified. One of our suspects that had been pulling some property crimes in there, we were able to pick him up yesterday in Laytonville. Terry Ellison, Bo Ellison, we caught him with some stolen firearms and some stolen property. We're doing some follow up on that as well, but he was booked yesterday. We've still got some mountains to climb on as we identify suspects on these burglaries. There's been a couple out in Halls Valley. We've had some vehicle pursuits with the suspects, and it's just been kind of a handful, but we'll get them wrapped up. We'll get it taken care of. I can't go into too much about who the suspects are. So that's kind of on point for Round Valley right now. Now, a big overview. The jail construction is still coming along really well. I am thrilled with the fact that, we're actually going to hit it kind of in our target for being able to open it. Now, the nice part is Prop 36 is working. We're getting a lot of people in who are choosing the treatment and the things that we would hope that they would glom onto instead of custody. The bad part is it has created a hell of a lot of work for my restorative justice coordinator or manager, Buffy Wright, who's with it, or Buffy Barassa, who's with us tonight. Why is it that when you get old, you call people by the names that you knew them by when they were young? Sometimes I still refer to Kathy as Kathy Duke. I'm just getting old. I don't know why that happens, but if you guys don't mind, could I have Buffy explain just for a few minutes what the work that she's doing in the jail for us?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Buffy Wright Barassa. So I didn't drop the right. I kept it because I know people confuse me. So I'm the Restorative Justice Program Manager for Inmate Services, and we provide programming and education and outreach to the community. And in that, with what the sheriff was talking about, that Prop 36, our numbers last fiscal year, we served a little over 800 people in our programming. This year, we've served over 1,500, and 62 of those we've actually helped get into residential treatment from the jail, which is a huge caseload for us when we're, normally we're tasked with, educational and bringing in life skill programming. So it's a big increase, a big lift, and we're making it work. Those numbers only include inmate services. They don't actually include our jail discharge planner, who's also doing that work, mostly for our severely mentally ill population and those that are harder to place out back into the community. And that work is, it's good work because we're helping our community members. These are people, it's not like they're strangers. A lot of these folks are, family members and friends that we've grown up with or known, most of our lives, so we know their kids. And so it's important work to me to make sure that we're, making those connections for them back into the community and helping them, plant the seed and see that they can do something different. So it's where we're at right now.
All right. And so if anybody has any questions for me or for Buffy, I'm happy to take them.
I have a question, Matt. This is Laura. So Buffy, who pays for the treatment for the people taking the option for treatment?
So treatment is paid through Medi-Cal, actually. And we're working with social services. Social services comes in once a week, and they make sure that folks are enrolled in Medi-Cal. So while they're incarcerated, their Medi-Cal is turned off. So a lot of folks already have Medi-Cal when they come in. If they don't, then the application process is started at least 30 days prior to them getting out. If they're, and it happens sooner for some folks, because if they're court ordered to go to treatment, then that process starts faster, and we'll connect with social services to get their Medi-Cal started. And sometimes their Medi-Cal's from other counties, and so the sooner we know, the better. But we have a whole team that's working on that. And that also ties in with CalAIM. So we're a CalAIM demonstration state where we're working on getting everybody their services and case managers. There's also enhanced care management providers that are in the county. And so we're making those connections with them as well. And they also work on getting people into treatment, housing, and other social services that they may need.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, Matt. This is Dane.
Yeah.
So, can you clarify for me, I know the loose animal department is now called animal care, but an animal care officer, is that through your department still, or is it all through the animal care?
It's all through animal care. So animal care has two portions of it. They have enforcement, which is under animal control. And
Okay.
then they have the dog pound, what we used to call the dog pound. They do adoption services, spaying, neutering, stuff like that. But animal control is actually under them.
Okay. So I understand there's an opening for one, with a third one is being, do you know anything about it before I ask the question? Okay.
No, I don't know what's going on with their hiring and whatnot right now. I know that they've had kind of continuous openings because it's been pretty hard to fill some of these jobs for the county.
Okay. Yeah, I just had caught wind, I guess that's for everybody that can hear this, that there is another opening for an officer, and just be nice if sometimes they just drive up here like you send your deputies up here, before they go on shift maybe, so it's not always complaints that brings people up here to take care of the dogs running around. But that's good enough. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions for Sheriff Kendall?
The housing situation here, is he the one who would know about that? The possible housing situation?
Yeah, let's,
Well, I think we had some, the housing at the Forest Service, if, in case we have a deputy who wants to move to Covelo, you had mentioned a while back that you were in conversation with the Forest Service about that, Matt?
Yeah, I've been in contact with Captain Tad Call, who runs kind of the law enforcement side of the Forest Service. And he's one of their captains or managers. And I'd spoken with him. If we have an applicant who wants to be there, we can enter into a contract with the Forest Service for housing for them.
Can you repeat his name for me, please?
His last name is Call, just like a telephone call, Call, and his first name is Tad, Tad.
Okay, thank you.
thanks for bringing that up.
And we also, well, that was the dog thing. Yeah, that was it. Go ahead.
Did you have that one?
No, but before we move on to Supervisor Haschak, I do have, I was wondering about a public comment. Did we have any public comment?
We did, but there was just a written out item. I have a question for Matt, just real
okay.
quick. Any developments that you've seen with the noise ordinance? Was that still on the county council desk?
You were the couple.
It's with county council, but we've had, I think,
Public comment.
3 or 4 meetings in the last 4 months on it. But you have to understand, legislation does not come quickly. And so they're tightening everything up. We've had several meetings with them over the last 3 or 4 months about how it needs to be rolled out.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad it's still moving forward. Yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely moving forward. That's not the issue. It's just that, I'm sorry, the wheels of government tend to turn a little slower than what most folks are accustomed to.
I know all too well. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
I think Mary Lou, public comment was the emergency.
Yeah, but
And
if there were any other,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't ask for that.
okay.
So we'll go back to that. Is there any public comment?
Hi.
There we go.
I was reading all of the attachments to this meeting and Jenny and I came across the one about the recycle. We're here to support this letter. In support of having buyback and having a more, widely functioning recycle or a larger appliance, hazardous materials. Rather than spend the money after the fact and cleanup, let's spend more money on our local refuse collection area and really bring it up to standards of the state. It absolutely legally should have a buyback.
It is actually on the agenda later on.
Great. Okay, well, that was just, that's our.
Okay.
That's my public.
Yeah,
comment.
thank you.
Wanna add to that?
Yeah, it was.
And then the other thing is that I noticed that Emily McCobb from UC Davis is here again. And I feel like,
Do you want to let Matt go? Because he's trying to get off the call.
sure.
Okay.
You can go home, Matt.
All right. Yeah, I still got a little bit of a drive. Thank you. You folks have a good evening.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good night.
Thank you. Okay,
Just wanted to say that we appreciate Emily McCobb being here from UC Davis and really appreciate the vet clinics that have been happening. And I was wondering if she would like to maybe give us a little bit of information about what exactly you're doing out there, like what kind of impact are we seeing? How many spays and neuters or everything that's going on? It's yeah, I hear it's very
Busy.
very busy. Yes.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to report or you can put me on an agenda for a future meeting if you're tight tonight. I'm trying to attend when I can just to get to know people in the community and kind of have a better sense of what else might be needed. In terms of statistics, we just had our November clinic at November, I think it was 8 and 9, and we did 100 surgeries and 83 wellness appointments. So I think it is having an impact. We don't have very many animals on the list for March, so we're kind of interested in trying to figure out why that is. And I hear you guys talking about some issues with free roaming dogs. So I understand it's probably, there's more work to be done. There's a few folks that have some animals with some ongoing needs that we're trying to figure out if we can get them down here before March. And then we are also planning, I'm going to actually send an email through the proper way of getting on the agenda to try to get on your agenda for January, because we are actually planning a small pilot large animal clinic for March. So that on the Davis side has a green light, and we have data from our clients in November of which kind of animals and what folks would be interested in having. But I want to talk more to you all to make sure that we do it properly and it's safe and there's no concerns and all of that. So that's what I have today.
Yeah, getting the word out is a little tricky, but I think Facebook is probably the place where most of us get our local news.
Yeah, and we want it to be sort of small, so to make sure that it goes smoothly. And so yeah, we'll be kind of working through how to have appointments and whatnot in controlled manner. But yeah, in our the state team for disaster response is going to come and provide the services as a way of ensuring training for their folks. So it hopefully will turn into something that would be really useful for people.
Yeah, it's truly amazing, and we really appreciate those services. I mean, if you're doing 100 spays and neuters 3 times a year, that's 300 dogs that aren't having puppies or whatever. Yeah. That must make a big difference. I can't imagine what this place would be like.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
I know, we're so grateful to be there.
So that's gonna be in March?
29th is the I think the date.
March 29th.
Mhm.
Is Dr. Costa gonna be there? Cause I think.
Yes, Dr. Costa, but also 3 other doctors from the state team. And also not on the large animal side, but on the small animal side, we're trying to get Dr. Burns like cleared to be one of our providers. I think one of the things we're trying to do is make better connections so that students will come back to the county, and then also the making sure that we have good relations with the vets that are actually up in Mendocino County. So that will be really cool if we can have the vet from Ukiah actually come to Coblo.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you say March was full already?
No, I said we don't, for the small animal side, we don't have a very long waiting list, which usually we've had like hundreds already on the list. So we're not sure why that is, but we were sort of like, maybe we're finally getting to the end of the list, because there was kind of a big backlog after COVID.
I don't think that's it. So I know that I got in on the November one. I was so thankful for it, but I didn't know I could go to the little place by the bank and get a little QR code. So I think we just need to advertise more that it's that simple as going to the next to the bank, hit the QR code and fill it out. So I think it's more educational right now.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, that there was a QR code by the bank. So yeah, so one of the reasons I'm coming to the meeting, just to kind of try to learn more. So
and it allowed me to foster another dog that was out on the street. So that was the deal.
Cool.
So is that just
yeah, it's a little poster. It's right at the front door, and there's a QR code, and you just scan it with your phone. It pulls it up, and you fill it out online, and it emails right to it. And you get on the list.
That's awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
If I could figure out how to get the QR code on the rants and raves, I will do so, but not that tech smart, but figure it out.
Good to know.
Yeah. Figure out.
Well, just as a plug, UC Davis is doing a lot more than the animal clinic. So Dr. McCobb, I don't know if you know that Dr. Costa's been reaching out to us. She wants to get high school students interested in veterinary medicine. So there are apparently lots of programs and lots of things that they could be taking advantage of at UC Davis. And so we're making that connection with her too. So it's a fantastic partnership.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And they, that's extension. So that's kind of their job. And we're trying to like just keep each other in the loop. That's really cool. And then we had brought that one technician from Covelo back. So she works up in like Folsom now, but she came back to volunteer to be home. So she's an example of a high school kid who came out of Covelo, and she had to like sort of self-study because they didn't have the right classes, but she wants to come back every time she see her family. So that's cool. And then I just heard, not sure exactly how this will connect, but one time in one of these meetings I heard from I think it was Robbie about the water, and there's another person that's getting assigned to Mendocino County from Extension, and it's all about water. And I was like, oh, they're definitely worried about water. So the university really does try to do a lot for California communities, which has been, as a new person coming back to California, it's been really kind of cool to learn about.
Wow, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Put a plug in there.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Are there any more questions for Emily?
Nope. Thank you.
I wonder, should we put her on as one of the
Regulars?
regular updates? I mean, I think this is a really great subject to have on our list. I mean, even if you couldn't come one time, that would be fine. Obviously, other people are not regulars. Are you?
Yeah, that's fine with me. We're just, like I said, trying to strengthen the connections and be in touch with you know, because we would like, you know, everything we do to be community led. And so we are recognizing that we're not part of the communities. So we want to make sure that that we're like responsive and doing what the community wants. So yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
How would you like to be listed?
As far as like the role or the title or
The agenda as the title, UC Davis Extension, or?
you could put accessible veterinary care, like clinic updates.
Okay.
You're not on our email list for agendas, correct? I don't recall sending them.
Mm-mm.
Well, we're gonna put you on the list.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm about to close on a house in Fort Bragg, so I will at least be a property owner of Mendocino County
Yay.
by the end of the month. So yeah.
I don't know. My hand isn't big enough. You remind me.
You have her contact.
I know how to get a hold of her, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and Laurence, I bother Laurence pretty regularly, so she can also help me down.
I was gonna say, she's the one with the water information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Okay. All right, thank you again. Okay. Is there any more public comment? Okay. So we'll move on down to Supervisor Haschek, who had a conflict tonight and thought he would provide a written update, but I didn't see anything, so we'll table that.
I have a comment from him.
No?
I have a comment from
Okay.
question I asked him that has been ongoing. I've been asking ever since they stopped coming up here about hazmat, and he said, apparently we're scheduled in February,
Oh, my.
so
So we really need to get the word out.
totally, and I didn't get a specific date, but they do have Covelo as hazmat finally. So
Yeah.
after a year and a half of hiatus of not coming up here, maybe 2 years now,
About 3, I think.
it's 3 now, yeah. Anyway,
It's been a while. Okay, great.
I asked him, and he did that. That's all I got.
Okay, with that, we'll move to the Round Valley County Water District.
I don't got anything,
That would be Wheeler Lawrence.
yeah, they're the spokesperson.
They're not here.
Yeah.
They want to be on the list and now they're not here.
Beyonce's in New Orleans at a
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah. She and Rose are running around having.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, Mendocino County DOT,
2 days off.
MCOG.
And Cox not here. Oh, that's.
Oh,
the
I did ask MCOG to be here.
guy. Right.
Well, I think I notified whoever asked me to do it. Them and Caltrans, and
Okay,
they didn't get to it, but I'll keep asking.
we can move that over to January. I don't see Monica. Okay, no one from the Fire Protection
Pat,
District.
did you send your letter to MCOG?
I did.
No,
I did.
yeah, I
sent it
sent
to
him.
Billy and asked.
So we have county and community, are they separate?
I saw that.
Oh, did I screw up?
I probably did.
I just don't know. We all know what we're talking about.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
Okay,
Where were we?
so
Long day, Kathy.
we'll move on to item 6A. Michelle Merrifield had expressed concern about the valley's farmland and fields to have fire breaks or control burn on dry vegetation, and was going to bring back a draft letter. I didn't hear from her, so I guess we'll table that. And I'll reach out to her. I'll see her Friday. Okay, 6B. Discussion possible action. Lou is requesting a resolution regarding trash in Round Valley. Lou's proposed findings, goals, and proposed solutions are attached for incorporation into a resolution.
We got,
Is that attached?
It was, but it was in a funny place, kind of like down on the bottom when I
I've
looked at
got
it.
4
So
copies.
I saw that and I,
Oh, yeah.
I checked it out.
I did see that.
You've got one,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay.
I guess it's my turn. So
Nope, I got more.
couple of times a year, I get either rounded up by my family or community members or something to go pick up trash. And then, you know, on the roads or in the creeks. And so I began to think about it, and what really kind of made me do this is, I had some, what they call e-waste, electronic stuff that just adds up, you know, over the years. It's not that much, you know, it's like old computers and all these different routers from every different internet service provider I've had for the last 15 years, you know, they've all got to do. So you can't throw that stuff away. So I went to, you know, you take it to Willits. And then I just see this like marvelous facility they have in Willits to recycle everything and take your water heater. And it's like this familiar woman named Maria who used to work out here. She's there. And I kind of went, well, we have Preston, and Preston's great, but it's really limited what they'll take at the transfer station here. And they don't pay you for the cans. And then I also sometimes, you know, I was just, you know, in the M&M parking lot. And Brian Edwards, who's like our local Caltrans guy, drives the big truck, you know. He comes up to me going, I know you pick up trash. And he told me of a, just, you know, anecdotally, like every once in a while, they get their whole crew together of like 8 guys and the dump trucks, and they just pull off the road on 162 and start picking up the trash that's thrown off the side of the road. And he said the last time they did that, they took the beer cans to Willits and got $300 for just the aluminum that's thrown out on the side.
Do they have to report that back?
I think they probably bought more beer, you know, but I don't know, but this just starts to, you know, percolate and like, so I just, you know, one of these days I was on a tear and I wrote this thing up in that format that I've seen over and over again of how you know, planners do their stuff with their findings and their goals and the actions. And I think what I would, it's not that I'm really necessarily looking for this group right now to adopt this, you know, because maybe people haven't really looked at it or they have other, it's just like a draft, you know. But my angle is after communicating with the person in the County Department of Transportation. Can't remember the name. And what she let me know was that it's really an issue of funding and money. They get so much, you know, X amount of money from the state to run the trash trip in Mendocino County. And so what they've done is they have a couple of these places, you know, there's Willits, there's one in Casper, there's one in, I don't know what they do in Laytonville. They have something in Laytonville. But it just seemed to me that what we have available here for getting rid of our trash or even the recycling is not adequate. You know, if you have to drive all the way to Willits to get rid of your washing machine, well, guess where the washing machine goes? In Mill Creek. And
Or off the bank.
Or I mean,
Short Creek.
the last couple of cleanups that I've done in the creeks, it's not so much bothersome that it's the household garbage, it's the big stuff that's getting dumped.
They used to have a auto shop here at the school. Fix autos, had a bunch of students in there fixing autos. Why not appliance shop, somebody that's a technician that can work on appliances, find the parts. recycle them, sell them for low cost for people that need a washer and dryer, because there's no laundromat here.
Yeah, that's good, but what I'm really looking for is for this group here, which doesn't really have any authority, but we do have a little bit of. We can put our thumb on the scale and go, either this community here is being underserved. You shouldn't have to drive 100 miles round trip to get rid of your old water heater. Come on, that's like, so what I would really like to do is to encourage this group, not necessarily in this big meeting, but to get a few people together and come up with some kind of like, this is what we want to have happen here. And it wouldn't have, I don't think it necessarily has to be that Wednesday through Saturday, Preston has to take the washing machine. But you should be able to,
One day a month or.
one day or about 4 times a year, or something, other than dumping it in the goddamn creek, because I can't pick up those things. I can do a cleanup in the creek and pick up the little stuff but it's the big things that kind of bother me. And the other thing that really bothers me is that what we used to be able to do is you could go to the dump or go to the transfer station and get paid for your beer cans, which might have evened out what it costs to get rid of your garbage. We can't even do that now. There is no redemption facility for 50 goddamn miles.
So basically, because we don't have a redemption here, it's basically the beverage tax for COVID.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to look at it, So it's kind of my proposal that I brought to this group this month, is if people could, not necessarily in this meeting right now, but just review what I wrote up. And then perhaps by the next time we have a meeting, do something, make a resolution or whatever, because I think it could be really, it might be in the billions of dollars available in the state of California to deal with this kind of thing. And the way either the county of Mendocino is deciding to disperse the money they receive is not serving us, or we need something special here that could go to our assemblyman or to our state senator or something, because I know the money's out there. Come on,
Waste management.
there's billions of dollars out there in California to deal with this problem. And a lot of us, and people tell me, they go to other places in California and other places in the country, and there's not nearly as much garbage spread around. And I think it's almost like, it's one of these justice things, kind of. And I don't really like getting into that sort of territory, but there is long-term, social injustice thing happening here about being on a res, and that's where the dump was. And there's not enough money to clean the stuff up, and people are poor. There's all of these issues, that I
Yeah,
think.
you got $300 worth of cans off the road.
Yeah, and
Our
one,
students are doing bake sales.
In one dump.
and in one day.
Our students are doing bake sales to make money.
Mm-hmm.
If they're picking up cans and bottles and getting redeemed for it, that's a win-win in both directions. That is a revenue stream that's taken out of this valley.
Sure.
It's a big
Because
revenue stream. People on the margin, they can't.
I pay money when I buy beer, I'm paying money for this thing,
That you can't get back.
So anyway, that's my rant, and I'm, I shouldn't really apologize, but every once in a while I just go, I gotta write this down,
I
So-
totally understand and I totally agree. And I myself have written to California Recycle a dozen times over the years, trying to work something out and, you know, they never have an answer. They usually don't answer my emails. But when they do, they, you know, kind of shrug. It seems like they could have a mobile, a van or something that came in once in a while and it'd be like, okay, everybody take your stuff down to the
Yeah,
van
yeah.
and turn it in.
There's what, and Joanne Williams, like across the street, you know, she's big on this too.
Yeah.
And she's probably would be a good person to get on a little group because she's already, I've seen this in stuff. It's like if your community wants to be one of these cleaned up community
Yeah, I
things,
was just.
there's
looking
$1
at-
billion or something,
Well,
you know?
there's this, they've been advertising this Clean California thing where you
It's on
can
the agenda.
become officially designated as clean. But it's like, I'm not sure, I'm still reading the fine
I think it's
print.
more of a deterrent
Yeah.
thing,
So
like, you know, it's like
But
broken windows.
It
just
says you
attracts
do
more
get
windows.
announcements about grants and
Yeah.
partnership opportunities.
Yeah, and
There's-
signage and all sorts of.
Yeah.
There's
good
a
stuff.
little bit more that goes with the rant other than wanting to, you know, make this an issue that this community thinks we need some help here and we deserve some help from the state of California for more money specifically for our issue here. There's also, there's the problem that I see that there are, and this was in one of these findings, there are certain properties here that function as casual dump sites. And just the experience of trying to be a responsible person and going to the transfer station and seeing right across the street from this transfer station is like 10 acres of garbage. It's now about this deep. And that's not within any jurisdiction other than the Bureau of Indian Affairs, as far as I know. And it's not acceptable. It's like a slap in the face, you know, here I am, I'm gonna go take one tiny little truckload of garbage costs $37 now to get rid of. And of course, a lot of people are not gonna turn right, they're gonna turn left and dump it right there. Because there's no deterrent. It seems like it's okay. And maybe it's okay in the culture, but it's not okay to me. So, that one is kind of like a sensitive issue. But if this group could at least address the funding that the state of California already has that we're not getting. That's what I really want to focus on, you know, get some free dump days, get some recycling happening here, figure out a way to like get rid of your big appliances. You know, just put them in a pile over there, Preston's place, that's okay, you know, so anyway, so you won't take them.
So I have a lot of background on this, like.
Yeah,
what
I
the-
know,
What,
I got a bunch of your trash bags.
right, what the legal situation is. The county has a contract with the solid waste hauler. And at times, for instance, Lake County had a provision in their trash contract a number of years ago that said, any volunteer cleanup project received free dump privileges. The county determines the terms of those contracts, and they either determine to enrich the waste hauler because they're contributing to the state Democratic Party, or they determine, I mean, there's a lot that's going on here that's not about cleaning up trash in these budgets, but there is a time when those contracts are negotiated. The terms, the reason the dump is run as it is because it's within the current contract. The contracts were different before. There is a law requiring there to be a recycle center if there is a grocery store in the state of California accepting deposit funds.
I hear they pay the fine to move on.
That fine could be used, there are a whole bunch of provisions. they're not paying the fine is actually what I think is happening. I think the state is not assessing the fine. And that fine could be used, actually, there's provision for that to be used, those monies to be used to set up a recycling center. And probably there again, it depends on who's contributing money to who. But there's another thing, which is there was a Clean California grant. It was announced in August, and we at the water district thought about trying to run that grant, and we didn't have the time or effort to do it because we were busy doing the creek restoration project. And we contacted the NRD. I know that the tribal business manager is concerned about this also, and they were considering whether they had the resources to apply for that grant because it does involve tribes. If we got ready before the next one, a lot of these things, and in fact, this one was about setting up solid waste facilities in communities that were underserved. That was one of the provisions. One of the things that might be really useful is if a local agency cooperated with the tribe, because often the state has provisions that the tribe objects to. So, if we prepared for that with a local agency, that's something we could do. I'm trying to think. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there that actually addresses this. Another thing, just to say it out loud, a tribe can create a solid waste authority and could actually take the county's utility money, I believe, if they serve the greater reservation boundary here. There are a whole bunch of provisions that could be used if we could get together the ability to cooperate on it.
So
it already exists.
My question is, how do we get there? Because this is just like this little volunteer group of people who are like interested in doing this kind of thing. We meet once a month, and there's really not that I can see one of these, like an existing local agency that you said, you saw the grant come up and you couldn't even apply for it because you already didn't have enough,
Capacity. We're trying to build it.
Right?
The county board of supervisors could change the provisions for the dump contract.
That's where it rests.
That's what I want to know. What do we do?
That's the only way, whatever company this is that does it, it's consolidated or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way that they will, instead of establish, I'd like to put reestablish, because we had these services and
Some of them, it was better. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, I found out they're not taking e-waste, which they had up until I found out today. But anyway, it is about getting that contract to match the reality of our community. And then that holds
Or
the
see
provider.
if the contract maybe already does and they just not
No,
adhering to it.
the
No,
contract
they can do that.
change. I'm pretty sure of that. Here's another thing I'll just say. I actually, after last month's discussion, I called whatever they are, Redwood Waste Solutions. I called them and said, could we do anything about this? Is there anything I could speak to? And the person I was talking to said, here's an email. It's a general email box. You can send an email to it. I said, no, I want to talk to a person who's actually responsible for this. Give me a personal email. No, there is no such thing. And I got that they're engaged in not engaging in these rural areas, that they're going
It's a
with
money
the money.
pit to them.
And the county is make sure that there's good enough garbage service in Fort Bragg, Ukiah, and Willits, because the county just collects taxes from here. That's their big contribution. Anyway, Unfortunately, the solid waste hauler is not very interested in solutions here. Redwood Waste, what? Anyway.
Yeah.
So Brooke, what I'm looking for, Bruce, kind of like is besides the discussion's fine, I'm glad we're doing this. But what I'm really looking for is what do you do on the second page of something like this? What sort of actions can this group, which has some, we
Yeah.
can do something, you know,
What
like
Dane
a
said.
demand or something
gotta-
like that,
You
you
gotta
know?
lobby the supervisors
Yeah.
and say, look,
That's a
this
good step.
contract is not adequate for our community.
Okay.
In fact, we've lost services. We used to have buyback, we used to have e-waste, we used to have appliances.
So is
Mhm.
that gonna be actually what we're going to have in our minutes, that we will come up with the wording for that and send it to the
I
supervisor?
think
Yeah,
that's a
that's
good direction.
something that you
A
could
letter to
do
the
by
supervisor.
the next month anyway, so
Yeah.
it should get.
Would you be
Somebody's
interested
got
in
to
that?
drafting it. Well, I shouldn't do it without, I should do it with a MAC member, I would think, you know?
But I think also what Pat, when I talked to Pat about this, she's repeatedly talked to, what are they called?
Cal Recycle.
Cal Recycle, and gotten nothing there. So I think we also should prepare something for our legislator and ask them to go to bat with the state
Right.
agency
Right.
and do their advocacy simultaneously so that, you know,
Cause Bruce, I think it is partly, it's a function of like, what do they call this? Zero sum game. There's only this much money that the county of Mendocino gets to do these sort of things, and what I want is more money.
yep.
You know, not just a better contract. Let's just get
And,
some
and,
more
and,
money.
and the fact, if they looked at the amount that is returned versus the amount that is bought in returnable containers for this county, I'm gonna tell you that plus their grants doesn't even come close to being equal to what we're paying in.
Mhm.
They, you know, and we could probably prove that.
So we had a price increase for a bag or for a yard. Because part of that subsidized the whole new design, engineering and construction. So they could put in what they call a possum belly trailer.
Right, the bigger ones.
That way they didn't have to come up as often, so save them money, but we're paying for that. I mean. That was just to improve. So the line, their bottom line, and
Yeah,
hopefully to
better
stop
for
those
them.
lines.
You know?
It kind of stopped the lines from waiting for the truck to show up that morning,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, I remember being.
Oh,
the
well,
west.
the dump just shut it. I mean,
That too, that
for a
kinda
couple of
changed,
years, that
and
was.
so has the
But that
dynamic
was
of those
because we had
dumping.
3 times as many people living here.
Yeah, exactly. And so if all that can be organized for a trailer, I mean, why can't we get infrastructure to put the buyback?
That's what I think. I mean, how come there, I mean, I saw what it was like in Willits. They just had a metal shed full of water heaters and broken down.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's no big deal.
It is, because they're gonna have to hire one more person and have them drive over here and
Yeah.
pay them all day and.
So, I mean,
Yep,
that's
that's,
better than me having to pick this thing up,
That
you
is-
know?
I think that's the issue. They don't wanna do
Yeah,
it.
but that, I mean, it's really pretty,
They don't want to.
that'll shut up there and you put your water heater in it, you know?
They have the money for that.
Yeah.
Well, so
Huh?
I'm gonna come back, what do we want,
Yeah.
what do we want to do?
What are we gonna
What
do?
are we gonna do?
A letter that can direct.
Somebody gotta write this down, what are we gonna
I'm
do?
writing it
Yeah,
down.
okay.
I just wanna,
A letter that directs the
Condense it.
supervisors to renegotiate the contract. With the solid waste provider to
Mhm.
include. Item 1, reestablish. Household appliances, e-waste,
Mhm. Okay,
and then I don't know about the Cal,
buyback,
yeah,
recycling buyback.
buyback. Lou had here establish a recyclable buyback, and I'm saying reestablish, because we already
Okay.
had it.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we need.
Oh, that's like the goals and, yeah, okay.
No, or wherever, I mean.
Yeah, part of it like,
Yeah, recycle.
So you and Lou are gonna work on a draft?
Or like something that we can maybe adopt, like in our next meeting.
Right.
That
You'd have
we
to-
can send out to like.
Yeah,
Draft.
we'll have a draft for
Okay,
the
because
next.
this was just the first run, you know? Okay,
Well, you can say no.
I can do it.
I
yeah,
know. I
I'd
know
be
you can.
volunteered.
yeah, we could do it for
Yeah.
an hour.
And then,
you know?
do we wanna also send something to Cal Recycle?
So here's, can I give my opinion on
Yeah.
recycling?
Yeah, I don't know. Put to him. Yeah.
Well, you can go on the website and type in 95428 and find out where the recycling centers are here.
Right?
Okay, so. I don't know, 2 years ago I looked, there was nothing here, I think it was last year, maybe. It popped up, I'm like, holy cow, there's a recycling center here. Guess where it was?
Wait, no.
Dan's Market. And I thought, that's weird, so I drove down, Toby's behind the counter, and I said, is that true? And he told me the story about how they became a recycling center, and I checked it again maybe a month ago, and they're now having a recycling center here.
Huh.
So this is how Cal Recycle operates.
Okay.
They came to town. I don't know if they stopped at Dan's
Yeah.
first. I don't know if they went all the way through, checked out what maybe 4 other possibilities. Well, I don't think they can do it in tribal, probably convenience stores, probably.
They sent them a letter
Are they?
and they said,
Probably not.
we're not subject to that, thank you.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, they just blew it off, right?
So.
They legally are not subject to it. It's one of those state,
Yep.
it's like,
So they go to Dan's and they tell Todd and Dan, you don't do this, it's gonna cost you $1,000 a day or something,
Oh.
it was pure extortion.
Yeah.
And Todd's looking at his father and he's looking at their property and he goes, I don't know where we're gonna hold all this stuff. We have no way to get it out of the valley. And they just kept threatening and threatening and threatening. And finally Todd said, yeah, so they signed the paperwork just to get them out of there. And they said, all you have to do is put a little sign, it wound up being 8.5 by 11 on your front window that said, recycling center. He put it in like the least possible way of ever seeing it because they had no capacity for that. And it was pure extortion on Cal Recycling. I don't know if they did the same thing to Redwood. I don't know if they did the same thing to Keys.
Probably not, they probably turned around left hand.
Probably turn
That
out.
was it, yes.
Check the box. And
They checked the box, they went and spent the rest of the day wine tasting, and then they went back to Sacramento, that was my theory.
Wow.
So they just happened to catch the
That's a good
most
story.
exportable facility here, and that's what happened. So
Wow.
I don't, Cal Recycle, I wouldn't go to them.
no,
They are terrible.
again, I would go to the legislator's office and say, we want a real solution here.
So if,
Extorting our small businesses is not.
if we work something up, that's,
It's really not.
Well,
okay,
to not do it.
and then this group,
Extorting them.
the MAC says,
Or to
yeah,
not
we
extort.
resolved it, then we could take that to, the assembly and the board of supervisors and try to get a little action that way,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the thing as a whole. I'm glad you wrote it up because we're gonna drown in this if we don't do something about it. I mean,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
It's not solving itself apparently. We gotta do something about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's getting more.
Yeah, and I think-
Just a heads up, I live in a place where there's a lot of trash gets thrown out at roadside and I keep the front of my place cleaned up and I keep the place across the street relatively cleaned up. At least one of them, and a whole lot less trash gets thrown in that particular
Well,
location.
that's what I was gonna say, is the more, when you see a little trash, it slowly gets bigger, but once it gets really big, it'll exponentially just.
Mhm.
Because that's just how we are as humans.
Yeah.
Rather than pick those up, we decided to throw ours down.
So I would like to say that the housing, we do have a bin that we allow 5 bags of garbage a week
Mhm.
to be donated. We
Okay.
also pay for the renters. They get a recycling bin and they get a trash bin that is included in their rent. And if the large items, if they have ovens, stoves, hot water heaters, they're over and they're collected, and after they get so many, they actually take them to Willits and drop them off, and they're charged $10 an item to drop off, but that's how they're doing to try to manage it somehow.
Yeah, but at least you're managing it, you know, I mean,
Right.
you recognize that you gotta do something and you're doing something, you
Yeah,
know?
so maybe perhaps when you're writing your letter, maybe reach out to Lewis and see if he might have some other ideas. Who is the housing director,
Mhm.
and say, how can we help you? Can we maybe use this as the drop off site? I don't know.
You know, I wouldn't wanna put more,
Well,
more work on tribal housing,
Well,
you
no,
know?
but if we're saying it is a designated site, you have this field right here, and then we're only doing it quarterly. Or, cause you're saying you don't wanna do it all the time, but if we say quarterly, and then we arrange vehicles to bring them and drop them off, that might be a solution.
Might be, I really want it to happen where Preston's working, Bill.
Well, that
You
would
know.
be great, right?
Yeah, like,
Well, I mean, one of the things that's actually probably a possibility is that if the solid waste provider for the valley is not providing adequate solid waste services. My guess is from my research on the tribal solid waste authority that they could contract with the county. And essentially, since the county, I mean, I wish I could say that I was sure that the county government was functional. And there's the words, the questions about the functioning of the tribe sometimes are real, but at this point, the county often, I think, is functioning even less, especially on things that really matter here. And it might be possible actually to move into something far better that would employ people and make this a more livable place.
Well, that was the idea behind that community development block grant. Only half of it was funded.
Right,
But-
the second half that wasn't funded was the part about building up the infrastructure to deal with it.
Yeah.
This solid waste, what was it called? The Clean California grant actually seemed like the same thing, and it's if we'd caught it a month earlier, I think we could have gone back and gotten the half of the county grant and simply submitted it.
Sure.
And maybe submitted it as a joint venture between the tribe and the water district or say, I'm just throwing that out. I mean, maybe we should also I would suggest also that the letter go to both of those entities and highlight the attempts that have been made to fix this problem and the idea that we're aware that both the water district and the tribes have been interested in this question and applied for the capacity to do it. So I would say like 3 letters, including one that's and copy everybody on all of them. Like we're going to try and handle this, and we're demanding that you put your part in. Or
I got a question. Does the contract that the waste disposal has with the county is the appliances, is the electronic, and is the buyback in that contract, or they're just writing it off for Covelo? Is it in the contract?
Oh, it probably says that that's
is in the
maintained at the Willits transfer station. It used to be maintained here.
If it is in the contract.
Right.
All right, them not providing our service is a breach of contract.
Right. Which could
be
a
court situation where you get a class action suit with the county and with the haulers. That's a breach of contract.
Big deal, Ben.
Deal, but hey,
it could be,
how do you pressure somebody to do something?
Right, I know, I get that.
or it could be leverage.
I wanna do like the baby steps for a little bit,
Yeah.
just.
Well, that's the hammer, the baby said.
Good. So yeah, I think it's worth requesting to the county water district and to the tribes to see if the resources will
Okay, because really,
Will be put
what
forth.
started off,
We could include both housing and, yeah,
Oh, well, I'm just saying that's just what that, how.
they're already doing it, right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Copying them on it and
okay, can we,
All right. That's good for now, I think.
yeah. And I don't know if we're gonna find the time between now and New Year's to do this.
Not this month.
No,
Yeah.
but we'll talk, we'll get something done, you know, give us like 2 months maybe, okay? You know, cause this was gonna be a hard month to do stuff, but, okay, can we move on, please? Okay,
I just like to volunteer to help.
okay.
I have ideas and energy and and I also have contact with the legislators.
Right, you do, and I think, to me, that's really, will be key and important, you know? To get the ear of somebody that,
Right, things and,
okay.
you know, research things, I'm here, excuse me.
that-
Okay,
Thanks.
great, thanks. I did that.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, everybody.
They are on our mailing list, right? Denny and Teckler, you guys are on our mailing list, okay, right. Good.
okay, so. We'll move to 6C, discussion and or possible action. Caltrans has been invited to provide an update on their Highway 162 projects and address concerns presented by Pat.
I didn't hear back from them.
First
so-
off, thanks for contacting her, because it's in the
Yeah.
back of my mind. Hey, can you tell us what the heck's going on?
Well, if it's in the back of your mind, send me an email.
I will.
And then it'll be in the front of mine.
Okay,
Okay, good.
noted.
I did contact Caltrans
Oh.
with this concern.
Mhm.
And they got via the form online.
Mhm.
And they got back to me a few days later and said that they acknowledged that the problem existed, that, and that they would address it. But they didn't answer my question as to what they're gonna do when.
Okay.
But I wrote to them and I said with the weather changing and the roads are wet now and it's dark earlier, that 162 is becoming increasingly dangerous to drive on. And the delineators, those orange plastic posts with the two reflective bands on them, a lot of them have been lost, destroyed, everything, and the road is just not safe. And
Do you remember who responded? Was it a person?
it was an email that.
A robot.
They just wrote it back.
Like,
No.
like I do admin at, was it a person?
No, I think it was just the form gets sent and then.
Oh, no reply,
They.
no
they-
reply at Caltrans?
Yeah,
Okay.
it just said, acknowledged and, we will work
Oh.
on this.
Oh, I see, okay.
What did you point out, Pat? The reflector,
I
the
said
cones?
with the rainy season approaching, visibility on wet roads, especially at night, will become increasingly challenging without clearly painted lane lines. Several sections of Highway 162 have pavement that extends directly to steep drop-offs.
Yeah.
And over the past year, many of the delineators have been damaged or lost, furthering reducing safety. When can we expect this job to be completed? We need center striping and white edging striping all along 162.
there was for
That's
2
great.
months.
No, they never finished.
They never
anything.
finished
They never did the painting. But
I
the
don't
road
think
looked
that-
really good for a couple of months, you're right.
And then they redid it.
Yeah, they tore it up.
I don't think they finished paving.
No, they started over again.
Too what to work on.
Well, I think we should carry that over to January.
That's a real thing.
Does,
Sir.
does, the MAC want to send a letter to somebody, ask the MAC
Just
maybe?
send Pat's letter, just put it on a
Right.
letterhead.
That's what I'm asking, I guess, something like
Well, I
that.
sent it from our Mac email.
Right,
You might again send that to Rogers and McGuire, their district, whatever they're called, problem solvers. I can't think what the name of the damn thing, the position is, but there are people who are there to help with the state agencies.
do we want to make a motion to put Pat's letter on our letterhead? And send it to,
Yeah, Senator Michael,
Those
Chris Rogers
three
and
people.
and
I think it's the same thing.
Caltrans.
Yeah, point out that it's been this way for 2 years now. Add it, if that's not in there.
Well, I think last year they said something like, well, we'll get to it as soon as the rainy season is over.
Yes,
You know, it seems like somebody made a report at one of the MAC meetings.
yes,
and said,
yes, and they almost did.
When I asked about it, I was told it was up to Granite Construction to finish their job.
Oh.
And then Caltrans had to okay it, that it met the specs, and then it might get done. And that was like 2 weeks ago,
Oh, okay.
but I asked an unofficial person. Because I said someone's gonna get killed on that road, because there's no middle, there's the white line,
Yeah.
they're not there, it's foggy.
Mhm.
People are passing where they're not supposed to be passing, and the drop offs are ridiculous.
The drop off.
And the reflectors sit in the middle of some of the turnouts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so you can't know if you're turning out at a good spot. It's really, the whole thing is just.
It's obliterated if there's a truck that happens to be raised coming the other way, but that's another story, yeah.
That's why I got,
So 2 weeks ago?
about 2 weeks ago,
Okay,
before the accident, oddly enough.
so do we wanna wait till if we hear, to see if we hear something, or do we wanna send a letter?
Let's send a letter.
Yeah, send the letter,
Make a motion.
make your
I'll make-
motion and resolution, what are you?
no objections,
Send a letter.
no objections. Didn't we have, when we were working with Clean California, didn't we have the director of our region? At one point chiming in to our meetings?
You know, Julie, if you're
Julia
thinking of Julia
Peterson?
Chapman or Peterson,
No,
uh,
different from her.
uh,
Cause I called him one time when there was offensive graffiti on one of the speed limit signs coming from town years ago. Didn't we have him come? It was Julia and him and someone else, all from Caltrans.
It
no,
might have happened a while back here.
Yeah, I mean,
Julie's the only one whose email I had.
Any
I
objections?
just checked.
Well, any objections to having the letter, Pat's letter put on?
think it's a good idea.
Then you're okay with that?
Do is just take Pat's letter, put it on our letterhead
Yep.
and send it to like, I've heard 3 places now, is that right? To
That's what I heard. Caltrans, Chris Rogers and McGuire.
Yeah, so since we're on the topic, since I'm the one that is doing this, I'm not quite sure about what you guys think is or what I'm supposed to be doing. So for instance, at the last meeting, you wanted, or you did the letter support for Robbie and the letter support for your grant. Okay, but it was kind of, there was stuff had to be changed. I cleaned up a lot of Robbie's stuff and did it. But I
You did a good job too.
But I don't know, I didn't send it out to anybody. I didn't even notify our board of supervisors, as we're supposed to do legally, that this correspondence was issued, because I never issued it. I sent it to you,
Hmm.
and it never went out. In fact, I was hoping Robbie was gonna be here so I could give him his copy.
Talk to him
And
today.
that blasted thumb drive that just never gets returned to him.
Yeah.
So if it's not something that's prepared when you guys are sitting here saying, let's do it, it's all ready to go. If I'm reformulating it, making it look pretty, possibly changes some language, shouldn't it come back again the next month for final approval?
Seems like that.
Okay,
Probably
okay,
Sounds
so,
right.
so this, whatever happens is gonna be on the next
For final.
agenda for final approval, and then.
Okay.
Okay,
And so what happens
And
with
by
the
then,
last,
we'll know if they've started to move on it.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and what happened, the last 2 letters, they never went anywhere? Is
I
that what you're
gave
saying?
them to Kathy and I thought I sent them to you.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why.
You
And I
asked me
said
if I wanted to see them.
yeah, and I said I haven't sent them to anybody yet.
Oh.
But I did post them to the MAC website under our official correspondence though, but I have not. We're legally required to copy board of supervisors and the clerk of the board.
I know that.
Anyway, and I haven't done that either because I didn't know if it was done or how.
I didn't do anything. Did you do anything?
That's on here, right?
So,
Or not?
yeah, I put it on as an agenda
Okay.
item.
Okay.
I asked for it just because I needed
Yeah.
to, maybe some
Oh, okay.
clarity.
Check.
Oh, I see.
So it's on.
So it should be, so the letter should be dated on the date of the meeting where it's anticipated as the final is gonna be approved, right? Okay, because I had the last one is November 5. Let me change it. 2 seconds. Okay,
Thank you for doing that.
yeah, whoever did that, I mean, it was pretty, whoever did the letterhead before, but it was so irritating. I finally moved it around just because it was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
That's why it looks different.
Well, it was really hard to put anything on there, cause, yeah.
Yeah, oh, did you try that?
Oh, before, yeah.
The columns, it's irritating.
Yeah,
Do you want
columns
yours
are tricky.
redated? Well, if you guys want like a new date on yours, I can send that to you. You probably have a major grant application.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
yeah. And I'm always happy to send it too, if everyone approves it, so you don't have to do everything.
No, I mean, I just didn't know if it was, the final was approved, because I have been taking poetic license periodically. So, anyway, so the deal is, whatever is talked about like tonight, like whatever it was we just talked about, somebody will draft it, it'll get on the letterhead, and then it'll be on the next agenda for final approval. Okay,
That's the way to go.
I think with this one though, Pat read the letter, and I
Yeah.
think there was consent, in this case,
In
this
fact,
one
yeah.
gets sent out, right? Is that what we're?
Yeah, I think her letter's fine. You can just.
but is it written in the right voice? I mean, that causes problems sometimes too. People get, they're saying,
Right.
it should be they when it's me, and like I'm the one talking, and so I have to say, I don't remember if yours, is it like you talking? Or is it in a,
No, I think it's just, this is the situation and we need to have it addressed.
okay,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you tell me, I'm not involved in any of this. If you want me to use her exact language on letterhead, and then it'll go out. immediately.
Should we read through it and see if that's the case?
That's the item we're on right now.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah, I navigated away from it, but I can probably.
I don't know any of this works.
that's why there's so many of us working on
So probably just technically, I don't know what Roger's gonna do with this as well. But I'll get this. Oh, it hasn't been approved yet.
Okay, so we are to the last new business item, which is discussion possible action on the Clean California Designation Program. Are we interested in starting a campaign in our community to earn this designation? And then this flyer was attached.
So I asked for that because that wound up in my email box, and I immediately called Joanne, the most logical person in town, and I said, are you game? And she said, yes, I'm game. Are you game? And I said, yes, I'm game. I don't know if anybody else is game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if anybody looked through it, but it's basically, in my opinion, it's the old, like you were mentioning, if there's like one broken window, there's gonna be 15 broken windows if nobody does think about it. So it's more of a deterrent effect, but, and they'll tell you about grants, but it's mostly just making our community aware that trash is not acceptable, because I think that's just the way it's. seems
So,
to be happening.
yeah, I did look at it and you had to do 10 out of the
Yeah.
15 things.
Yeah,
Or 5.
We have to do 10 out of 15, I think it
Yeah,
is.
You know,
10
so-
and 15.
I don't really think the MAC has to approve anything. I was just wondering if anybody was interested, because it's not gonna just be me and Joanne, I can tell you that. If you wanted to just get the word out, I don't know. I don't know how to get people to do things. I've been trying for a minute. I've got an issue going on in Ukiah that it's just getting people to do things that they said that they were gonna be doing. It's darn difficult, so, I don't know, how would you go about reaching out and seeing if people are interested? Charles Sargenti, I mean, oh my God, he pushed so hard on the last cleanup. I was constantly reaching out and trying to get people to connect, and he was getting frustrated too, so I don't know. Any ideas? Wow.
not tonight.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's
It's
okay.
been, it's
I don't think
volunteers
there's
in
any.
general was a challenge, even for the boards. that are
Yes, oh my
Not
God.
glamorous, but even.
I know that for sure. This is not my only.
I'm not
Well,
sure
maybe
I'll
we
put
could
it, because I thought I'll.
turn it around, and so the transportation pays you for your trash. Yeah.
No, that would be interesting.
Off topic, but I said all along, well, they add a slice of a cent to everything we buy, and trash is free.
Mhm.
Isn't somebody trying to do a 1% or 1 cent tax increase right now, just to, and everybody's all for it? Oh, to get roads.
Oh, roads.
That just came out.
I haven't heard
Somewhere in Mendocino County, they're all excited about a 1 cent increase in, I don't know if it's tax or what. If it can be specifically for road repair and that the county can't come in and take it
Mhm.
and do something else with it. So.
Well, my silly ideas all along is cars cost so much money now. Why don't they just tag on $500 deposit on the car?
Yeah, like matches.
So when it's all used up,
Well,
it's still worth $500, you know?
Well, and then they'll make sure they don't get any of those cars. And then they'll keep the $500 and they'll send out grants for half of that for you, and the other half will go for office furniture at the DMV.
Oh, wow.
And incidentally, the state did a 1% tax on lumber to for environmental purposes. And what they ended up applying it to was they ended up subsidizing timber harvest plans, because that is environmental work on the forest. And I thought when they did it, I thought they can't possibly screw this up. But the first year, they substituted it for grants that Fish and Wildlife was already doing, and Fish and Wildlife used the money for office furniture. Anyway, so anyway. What could possibly?
Here's a question. So number one, community input, gather feedback from your community on the best approach to earning your designation. I would be happy to try to figure out how to do an online electronic survey. If the MAC would be the person, the entity sending it out. So I don't know if you guys heard that the county just did one about, are you happy with what's going on with the board of supervisors right now?
I didn't hear about that.
89,000 people live in this county, 660 people responded.
I didn't see
And,
it.
I just saw
I
some
didn't heard
blip
it.
from somebody and,
We can tell they're not doing a very good
Doing
job of
work.
surveying.
right, I know, talk about a statistically irrelevant sample, right? But apparently they're lower, the board of supervisors is lower than Trump right now, with these 660 people. Anyway, so I go
themselves.
Anyway, it's possible to do that.
That takes work.
I don't know if I can I have a MailChimp account for somebody else. I wonder if I can use it, but that would be helpful. The MAC could do that, or at least be the sponsor of that, and I can figure out how to do it.
And if it costs money, we have money.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
if
if I use my MailChimp account for my other,
or if
my
you
other
have to
gig.
use something else that costs, $50.
I've never done it before, but I've heard that
But
might
don't you
be
have to be an approved vendor in order to get money from?
I count for that right now.
But
I'm an approved, well, I'm not an approved vendor. I can, could use my credit card, that's on the file. If you need to buy supplies or something. But what are you thinking, like paper for flyers, Mary Lou, or?
That's how I lost.
No, I'm just thinking,
yeah,
some software that.
Oh, software.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What? An app that might cost money to do that
I see.
Survey Monkey thing or whatever.
I think you paid like a
And
subscription.
don't leave your survey response in the comments.
Yeah, really? So I can try to figure that out.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be helpful. Because, two people are not gonna do this.
I'm curious, you curate one of the Facebook pages?
Yeah, the rents and rates.
The rants and raves, that seem to be the more popular one anyway.
That's where I got.
How many people are on that thing or use that thing or check on
There's
it?
a lot of people on that.
That's kind of what I thought.
But we
you
could
know?
always tag it to the top. Like,
Pin it or something?
yeah, pin it at
Oh,
the top.
okay,
Oh, you mean the survey?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking like,
That'd be helpful.
that's great.
that's probably, a really good,
I think
way
they
to
get the most attention, yeah.
Kinda,
It's my favorite couple of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty effective, I think.
If you were gonna do it in person,
Members, then people. would
if you were gonna do an
Yeah.
in-person
Well,
service,
that's okay though.
which is a good way of actually changing public opinion. I would do it if I were doing it, and I have done it at other times. It's, and not here, but at other places where we're trying to change behavior by getting people to even know that there is a question.
Have you ever worked for Calpern?
No.
No, I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you work for Calpern?
No, I did a state parks project where we just walked around and asked people what they thought about the fact that people were destroying the campground. And it was amazing how many people said, no, they were like, oh, is that trash in my fire pit? Is that kind of wrong? It's like, yeah. Would you like a garbage bag? But anyway, so Keith's and the convenience store would be a great place to hand them out in person, just to let people know. And we should probably have some in Spanish, thank you. Because I think there are at least a significant number of people who speak Spanish who are unaware that trash.
Should not be thrown on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not that there aren't a significant number of people who are illiterate in Spanish who also do that.
And hey, I resent the letter to you, so it'll be in your email at the top.
Oh,
And
good.
and voice won't be a problem, it's all in the third person.
Oh, good. Excellent.
So we did Laura did make a motion, and I don't think we had
There was
any
no
objections
objections.
to getting that letter out.
Correct.
Oh,
Recall
okay.
that.
And on the 6D about the Clean California Designation Program, what was, do we want to think about that till next month? I don't know where to go with that.
Well, I'll see what's involved and have, if it's how it would happen and possibly draft a survey. I have a degree in sociology, damn it, I'm gonna put it to use. After 40 some odd years. Okay,
Right.
Just undergraduate.
yes. I was not crazy enough to go after a master's. No. Okay.
Okay. All right, so our next item, and I thought we were done with new business, but we had discussion and possible action with MCOG has been invited to update our community as to its Round Valley projects as of November 2024. Yep, they're not here.
They're not, but maybe by next month. Yeah, I just found that piece of paper in my truck that was like, oh, I don't even remember the meeting or whatever, but it said, oh, they got this money for like fixing up the street. So, okay, so what, what's gonna happen? I want to report back, this was a year ago.
Yeah, we'll follow up, and then 6F, discussion, possible action, approved final version of correspondence requested by Britton and Bobby Wyatt.
I'm sorry, Kathy,
Oh.
on that last item. I saw the video of the pedestrian bridge going in. Is it all the way, did it get extended past that this work season, or is it just the bridge got in?
The
Oh,
walking
the-
path?
The walk,
It's done, it's paved
Yeah.
down, they put the asphalt in.
I
Yeah.
haven't been out there in a while.
Oh, I drive by 100 times a week, No, it's done,
Oh, good,
yeah.
okay.
It's very.
Yeah, they had excavators parked at each end while they were fucking that sister.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go driving.
I think the part that wasn't paved was just right across the creek, and I think they didn't pave that.
It's all done then.
Did you get a new driveway or anything out of it?
Yeah, I got that little piece of it paved, but now it does this.
Oh, nice.
Because they said it was ADA to get from, because it goes way down in the cemetery and then it has to go up to the bridge. So they cut a piece of my driveway out to give it the right.
So now it's gonna collect water.
Angle.
Oh, so did they complete it at the cemetery?
I'm not sure if they had it halfway paved across in front of the cemetery, and they must have paved it like a couple days ago.
I think it's done, cause all that stuff's gone.
Yeah,
They demobilized,
Today they put all the straw out,
Yeah.
and they're out of there.
Oh, good, good,
Good.
yeah.
There's no more
It was
equipment.
hard to
Yeah, I
drive
didn't know it
it
was
done.
finished.
on
Okay.
the
Yeah.
dip at the cemetery when I was driving.
And it looks
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
Right, but as long as there's not a log in the middle while I'm doing the
It's
dip.
not a straight path, that kind of winds around. it's really quite attractive.
Good.
Cause there's a sewer clean out at my driveway for
Oh, manhole.
for the tribal sewer.
Hmm.
And it's way down there, so they had to somehow work around that. Good, I guess. That's convenient.
Like you still
Yeah.
find out.
What's that? That's convenient. Okay,
Yeah, not what you said, sorry.
discussion possible action and approved final version of correspondence requested by Kathy Britton and Bobby Wire. We talked about that, so I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna redate this and try and find Robbie.
Do we need to make a motion?
I've got it in my email, cause you.
Well, is it approved?
You change
The new version has not been
Probably
approved,
got it,
you're right.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, the new wording has not been approved.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you're gonna rework it, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
Redate it.
you should read it. Or somebody should read it.
it's attached, right?
It's right here. It was part
It's part of our
of.
tax.
it's part of the packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want a copy?
You're just changing the date is all you're saying.
You can have that.
Okay.
I want a copy if there's an extra.
I only made one,
Oh, never
Are you
a
mind.
talking-
paper one, you
Are you
know?
talking
I'll-
about
I'll
letters
hold
or what do you
for it,
think?
yeah.
The letters, so the letter, they're on the back, everything's, all the agenda attachments are on the agenda minutes page on the back website.
You,
It's titled wire. RS. Um.
I see you back
The
there.
original date is fine.
Thank you.
You don't care?
No.
Okay,
LOS, yes.
all right, wonderful.
Very good. You?
I do that all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's been approved, or are you saying we need to approve it again?
And it's another
Yep.
thing I wanted to ask. I only put in the names of the council members who were present when it was done. So now
Hmm.
but now since today Randy's not here and Laura is. So should I
yeah.
just, well, actually, I think Randall said yes. So you know what? I'm gonna add Laura.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Great.
Okay,
yep.
unless you don't want to be added.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the final copies of those two letters.
No objections.
Okay. Better remember to do that.
Are we good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, old business. I'll try to whip through this so we can.
oh, yes, I remember this one, okay.
Goodness.
Oh. So we talked a little bit about this. PG&E has filed its final surrender application with FERC, which ended December 1st, but has been extended to December 19th, 2 p.m. I didn't really kind of discuss that.
No, you guys put in you did comments on last September, a year ago,
Yeah,
full throated, let the eagle flow, so, the back has already taken a position, I don't know
yeah.
if you wanted to change it or not.
Okay. So
This is 20 years in the making,
Well,
think
they're
we're-
trying really hard to,
if not longer.
oh, yeah.
amazing what's going on, actually, John said he wanted to update us on that, but
Hmm.
never, didn't have a chance, I'm sure we'll hear about it, but.
Okay, so discussion and possible action, development of a county noise control ordinance. And I think,
Matt already addressed that.
yeah,
today,
we asked if there was gonna be an opening for comments from us, but we never got an answer.
I think once it comes out of county council, right,
Then,
that's, I would hope.
They'll-
There's some
they'll
public
probably-
input.
Yeah, they'll probably,
well, it's
I'll
something
hear from it one way or another.
we can ask John about it.
Yeah,
And then, discussion and possible action, if appropriate, Lou will give us a brief report on the town fire hydrant project. This item is a work in progress and will remain on the agenda.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, you can, yeah, you'll do better than I will, I'm sure.
So, McGuire has found, I don't know, it's all very strange how this whole thing happened, but I guess that's politics, but apparently. There is $150,000 ready and available, and it is gonna be put towards our feasibility study and a bunch of other stuff. that's coming from the state of California, but McGuire is giving it to, this is the tricky part, Mendocino County Department of Transportation to administer it. Yeah. So I don't, the money hasn't been transferred, yes, well, because it's gonna be on
Right.
city streets and they needed somebody other than us hooligans up here handling the money apparently. So, you know,
What's in?
so as far as I know, the money has not been gotten out of the state. My last information was McGuire is trying to, connect with the Ram Valley Indian tribes to get them involved in the project. Have you heard any, a little bit about that? So I don't know if he's done that yet. They're all running around, you know, McGuire is now running for another office.
He wants to go to
He
DC.
wants to go to DC, so he's a little distracted. I have no idea what the timeline is, but apparently it's set in stone that we are getting that $150,000. So what happens after that, I don't know. I think that we should be having Dashiell here every month talking about what's happened, how much money has been spent. And just keeping a very close eye on that, because this kind of money could disappear.
He's on the agenda.
I know, he's always on the agenda. I didn't invite him then. But anyway, that's where we're at. We're just kind of waiting for the $150,000, but it was a massive step in the right direction. I was blown away.
Yes,
We were all
it's
missing out for
really
like
not any slower
$50,000.
than I expected.
So,
And this is a long process, you
I
know,
know.
but even when we hear that, oh, we'll know what's in September, we'll get told, well, here it is, it's December. But it seems like you're right, you know, they say, yeah, this is gonna,
Well,
it
John,
really will
Yeah,
happen.
he
you
announced it
know?
last month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so I guess we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
So I guess.
Well, congratulations.
so I would suggest putting a formal request into both our supervisor and the transportation department to have somebody update us regularly on it.
Yeah.
I would suggest voting on a specific resolution to ask both of those, you know, simultaneously, to have somebody update us regularly, whoever the project manager is.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
Because otherwise,
It'll just disappear.
it'll sit there and
Mhm.
Yep.
It'll wind up in the general fund and poof, it's gone. But anyway, when I heard that, I was very pleased.
timeline from what I've seen on two other similar projects like this. It shouldn't take longer than a year.
Good.
For the feasibility study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the cost analysis, and then what you have to do after that is go through the local a process so that those people whose bills will go up in one form or another, they have to have the opportunity to object or, you know, and then if that works, that's another timeline, you know, how long does it take to do that? And then it has to go to UMA's outfit, LAFCO, and
Does it?
Yep.
yeah, it has to go to LAFCO.
Oh, that's right. It is an enlargement. What am I thinking?
That's the
And
part of it.
so I'm kind of looking at between, if you get all those things done, you did the cost analysis, the feasibility study, people say they'll pay for it. LAFCO says it's legally to do, then you have to go out to find the next bunch of money. And
Which
it-
will be in the several millions.
yeah, and that's maybe good that Mike McGuire might be in Congress by then, because that's where that money comes from, it's federal government money. But this is, you know, I'll be 85 by the time this thing's done, probably, you know?
Fire hydrants. How often are they placed?
500 feet max.
So
kind of,
how many are you thinking like within the sewer district?
in the sewer district boundaries, that's kind of the idea.
What about housing, or do they have theirs?
They already got some kind of a system there.
Okay,
Mhm.
so how many are you estimating?
Oh, I don't know, I figured it out, this isn't even my computer. 17, something like that, you know,
17?
something, yeah, because it's only the, you know, streets in the sewer district.
Mhm.
That's
There's
all.
5 miles of of sewer lines. That's
Not
not
just
relative to all the streets, but there's 5 miles of sewer lines, so there's easily 4 miles of streets, but again, it's not gonna go up and down every side street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to,
Yeah, in some ways it can,
right?
depending, yeah, but that's for the feasibility study.
That's what they figure, because they
Start-
map it all out, you know, and they go,
They,
here you know.
Calculations of population equals this many hydrants, you know, there's all these civil engineering type data that they run off of.
It'll be great though, because now maybe we'll get some new businesses downtown.
How about some
Exactly.
insurance?
Have
Would
some
you like some fire
insurance.
insurance?
I would like fire insurance, thank you.
Cause that was like, for this building, when it
Yeah.
was time to renew the insurance, that was first question. No, second question. First question, do you have sprinklers? Second question, are you within 500 feet of a fire hydrant? That was the first two questions.
Yeah.
And so consequently, we don't have fire insurance on this building.
So how do we go about a resolution by the map to get monthly updates from the board of supervisors?
Let's wait until the money.
Let's wait until they have a job to do, because right now there's nothing for them to update us on.
We probably tell Howard and he'll go, what are you talking about? He might not even know.
Well, he might need to be reminded once a month that there's gonna be this money and it's ours.
Yeah, but he,
No, it's premature though. What
Yeah,
okay.
it should be when the announcement that the funding's available, it's going to these people. And then we'll have to find out who's actually running the project in the Department of Transportation and require that person to show up, not Howard. You know, it'll be some next
easier
level
to,
person.
somebody easier to deal with.
Or somebody that actually does work.
So when we start having to lobby the community to get behind us, for the whole fire hydrant system, I kind of heard Bruce offering to go door to door to talk to people about that.
We don't really.
Be out of this.
I did it.
It's not, but the way I understand it, it's not, that you ask those people whose bill's gonna go up. And I don't even know if that's gonna be a property tax assessment, or does it run through the sewer board? Well, we don't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that you have to ask them, do you wanna do this? It's like a certain percentage of people have to say no.
Mhm.
So it's not like you really,
But you still gotta go door to door.
I would have.
No, you just need to send letters. You
Yeah.
just have to send notification.
You think that's
Right, but.
gonna be effective?
Yeah,
There's a difference between notification and communication. We're talking notification.
And
Yeah.
persuasion, I was thinking a little bit more,
Well, I don't.
but well, we're getting ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, we are
whatever.
getting ahead of ourselves.
I think Kathy wants to go home.
I wanna go home too, it's like.
Something by January or January meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
So,
okay, that was my brief report, thank you.
okay, so
Thank you.
7E, that addressed, and 7E, we kind of talked about was still a problem, so.
I'm going to try to figure out how to get that QR code online so that we can try to. get
So
that.
I saw two, and then I couldn't find it, I saw where somebody left like a significant amount of money to someone in the county for spay and neuter. Did you see
Mhm.
it's like 504,000 or some odd?
How much?
Well, somebody
Five
died
hundred
like 3 years ago and left like
Wow.
$5 million or some crazy amount to the county specifically for animal stuff.
Yeah,
But, so I assumed everybody knows, but, the animal, is Covelo Clinic is a Facebook page.
yeah.
So they have a Facebook page.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Covelo Clinic.
Covelo Clinic.
I will look at
Yes.
it.
Then maybe we could just share that, so.
Yeah,
I have no idea if that QR code's on there, I gotta
well,
tell
it
you.
is, I think, and you can also fill out your application right on the page.
This was the first time I heard that we weren't booked 2 clinics that had.
Yes.
I mean, I was,
Yeah.
never heard that.
Apparently they've turned the.
I was shocked at when I got, the way I got my dog, the dog that I had in, I was booked into March.
Oh,
And I went out there that day and they're like, we had 10 people cancel, be
Yes.
here in the morning.
Believe it.
And they were calling people and they still were not there. So I got in, that's how I got in.
that's how you got there.
Yeah, and it allowed me to keep the dog because I was like, I can't keep the dog if
No.
I can't get in.
Sure.
So,
I couldn't believe that, 10 or 11
10.
people. a free spay or neuter, and they couldn't get their shit together.
And they even offered to pick your dog up.
Yeah, Denise.
And take it there.
Denise like the dog ambulance,
Yes.
you know?
The dog was probably out chasing something.
That was the other thing. People are like, well, it's like, well, I don't have my dog inside the house. Well, I think I can get him. It's like, okay, it's like 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, really? I guess we're gonna give your slot to somebody else. Ding dong.
Okay, couple of things.
It's amazing. People continue to.
Yeah, that's to sign up, yeah.
And no president.
Okay. pictures, report.
Yeah, but nothing to report.
Reporting is nothing. No, yeah. No expenditures. I did receive, post office box. Rental or rental, annual fee, so I'll pay that, but that has not been processed yet. And I also thought, the Zoom account is through Charles, and I was just thinking, I might as well take that on, because he's not here anymore.
Yeah, so. So he hasn't been here in so long, I totally forgot about that, but he still pays it on his credit card?
Yeah.
And he hasn't asked for reimbursement?
Oh, yeah, yes.
That's
Me. Oh, yeah. I think Randy technically took his spot. I haven't kept track of all of this, but I think that's the way it works, so.
Or mine.
I think Randy got Kay's spot.
Oh.
We still have an at-large seat
Okay.
and 2 tribal seats, because they still haven't gotten it together.
Okay.
But
They appointed them, so that's.
They have been
that's enough
appointed.
paperwork. Yes, William Shane Oliver and Robert Whittle was appointed. Now they have to fill out the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
But it should be.
So Jill said she would help them.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I sent her all the instructions. This is the website, this is what you do.
Okay.
Well, that's encouraging now.
That's part of it.
Did we adjourn?
Can we'll, wanna make the motion?
Kathy hasn't mentioned it. There's no motion needed to adjourn.
Okay, well, I can just.
Oh, I usually put the time, that's all.
7:47.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Bye, everybody. Watching us do our little thing. That's Buffy.
Good evening.
She wants to be a.
So you're betting us not to.
I know,
Are
John.
you ready?
I mean,
And she's too
not
busy
otherwise
to
I
be
have something
supervisor.
Well, she could switch jobs, you know.
They're not-
She's right there, ask her.
I'm gonna ask my friend.
I think I heard her.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate listening and learning of what's happening up there in Covelo. You guys have a lot of things. I always wonder about the garbage too, so it's very interesting to me to listen. And I wondered about the county contract as well. So yeah, and the supervisor position, it's a big position for sure, and if it fits, I would be honored to be in that position. Although I'm hearing a lot of noise about people who may or may not run. So, but I don't see them here at this meeting either. And I'm like, well, what are we doing? Because Covelo is part of District 3, just as Laytonville is as well. And there's some big issues. We have in District 3, we have 3 tribes. And I heard some conversation about basically bringing them together and braiding funding together and how we can clean up and be, a little more. It seems like there's things that we could actually address. And I've served 3 terms on tribal council for Sherwood Valley here in Willits, and understand what the federal funding is and those dollars and how they come down. And I know that Ford Street in Ukiah actually braided funding with Northern Circle Indian Housing Authority, which is a big thing. That's how they were able to open up the sober living environment with, I believe it was 16 more beds, maybe 24. I could be wrong. Can't remember the number, but yeah, a lot going on. I'm passionate about our county. I've born and raised in Ukiah, actually out on the Penoleville Reservation and in town. So I just try to figure out where can I be at and be really effective. I've worked for the county 11 and a half years now. I've been in the sheriff's office a little over 2.5 years. And I worked in public health before that. And I actually served the whole county as a prevention specialist and working primarily with youth on the Safe RX opioid coalition. So yeah, so, pick my brain. I've got some experience in the county, got some experience in grants, and I know a lot of people in this county. So anyway, we can make some connections. I'm more than happy to do that as well.
Oh, great.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. Appreciate your guys' work.
Okay.
Good
I
night.
hope you all have happy holidays and a good new year, and see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I love stuff.
So, well,
Yeah.